Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial where we're going to talk about different set of tools that are useful for a different set of people in the carbon finance and carbon credit ecosystem. So with that, we're going to begin with our introduction. We are Carbon Updates. We provide you a dashboard that provides tools for project developers, financiers, government stakeholders, and verifiers. We provide you all set of tools and suites that are available to you if you sign up and if you log in and utilize our tools. Today we're going to focus on some of the tools that we didn't touch upon in the earlier tutorial. Today we're going to focus on the finance side because whenever you talk about carbon finance, whenever you talk about carbon credits, there's the aspects of science, there's the aspect of policy, then there's the aspect of finance. So let us begin. So we always get started, right? And we always choose like a country wherever you want to start. I usually choose Nepal because it has got a lot more set of tools than other countries because Nepal has publicized PTR and NDC 3.0 recently. We're talking about this from a perspective where we are in July of 2025 and we are recording this video. So whenever you open this platform, this is the view that you're going to see, and it's going to show you Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, and it's going to show you the Global Forest Watch layer, and you're going to see a lot of other things. There is a set of buttons over here. You can have the search button over here that gives you the ability to search through the projects, and I know if you log in you can see through all those projects. We have the map view. You can see the map from here. You can also access the layers menu like this over here. We're going to talk about all the available layers over here in a bit, but uh, we also have the project view. This is available to logged in users, and this is not a tool that just you use it for research and everything. This is a tool that you can also utilize to make your actual carbon projects and register them, and that is available for users through logged in functionality. We have the info button over here. This info button explains to you what are the types of users roles that you can sign up for. We have the project developer who can create and manage carbon projects. We have verifiers who review and verifies project details. We have financiers who provide investment analysis and funding decisions. We have government stakeholders who provide final or approved rejection, and super admins who take care of the platform, right? And then we also have the change country button. You can press it and change the country. I'm just going to choose Nepal because it's going to be easier to do that. One of the good things about this is it takes you through real time, so even if it's preloaded into your system, it's going to go back and get you real time data for whatever's in the server of Global Forest Watch. You also have the chatbot, open chatbot, right? This chatbot is available for logged in users, and I assume everybody understands what login means. Just login, right? So let us begin with today's layer analysis. So we are going to talk about the carbon price estimator analysis, right? So what the carbon pricing estimator analysis is, it gives you the idea that what this tool is about, right? This tool is going to give you a real-time carbon pricing calculator. Now, if you understand anything about carbon pricing, and if you know anything about carbon finance, there are different kinds of stock exchanges and standards that set the pricing, and based on those pricing you have different kinds of prices available. So EU ETS price indicates the price of the stock exchange ETS. In the European Union, they have set a standard and they operate a stock exchange for carbon credits, and we call them certified emission reductions. And these carbon credits over there, they operate like any other commodity. They go up and they go down. We'll talk about that trend analysis. And for that, you can see here there is a negative 0.09% change within the last 24 hours. Right now it's trading at 68.92. It's the current EU ETS price. So this is negative 0.09% 24-hour change. So percentage of global coverage is, it covers about 24% of the total global carbon credit market. That's huge. That's almost one fourth of the market over there. So You can also do carbon cost calculation with this, right? You can calculate your carbon pricing cost based on real-time market values. So for example, you can choose the European Union, you can choose the electricity generation, you can choose other options as well. It's there's a drop down menu over here, and one of the things that you can easily do is you can go from here and go 23, right? And you can calculate your carbon cost, and it's going to give you 1585.195 euros, right? So that's what it's going to give you. You also have like drop down menus, and you also get a host of choices over here. One of the things why I don't like to open up drop downs and everything over here is because of the fact that it's going to give you it's going to give you a lot of ideas about, hey, this and that, right? We have other types of exchanges available in the market as well, and you can choose it from this drop down menu over here. You can choose it from there. We have the 1 week, we have the 1 month, we have the 3 months, we have the 1 year, and we have the overall time, right? You can tweak this x and y axis whatever way you like based on the feedback. We provide people feedback. Right now the car price is 69.83. 24-hour high was 71 euros point 20, and 24-hour low was 68.95, and the volume traded was 2.4 million tons CO2 equivalent. Now, if you don't understand what this CO2 equivalent is, CO2 equivalent basically means the amount of equivalent reductions, the amount of equivalent tons of CO2 any activity would equal. For example, you can compare apples and oranges, right? So scientists came up with a unit to measure carbon credits, and it's called CO2 equivalent. That basically means the amount of carbon emissions that are required for any human activity. It is going to be converted through a base factor and then an emission factor, and then it gets converted into CO2 equivalent, because we need one singular unit, right? If you look at electricity generation, it's not going to get directly linked to carbon emissions, directly to carbon dioxide, but then there is emission factors, there's like chain links through how it is connected to the carbon equivalent numbers. And for that you need a lot of scientific study to understand how hydroelectricity is connected to it, how solar is connected to it. But basically understand it's kind of like a unit, like miles or kilometer or kilogram. Similar to that, we measure carbon credits with tons of CO2 equivalent. That E stands for equivalent, right? We also have a carbon cost optimizer, right? You can reduce the carbon costs. You can go from immediate 0 to 6 months. You can go to 6 to 8 months. All these tools are available to you right now. You can go and check it out. If you don't see me going through all these options over here in my menu, I can talk about all of that for half an hour and all of that, but it's not going to give you that. I'm just going to give you like a perspective. 23 euros per ton, and it's going to give you a change. Hopefully it's going to give you a change. It's not, then probably my fault. So we're going to get it at 70, and oh yeah, I need to click on generate recommendation. It's not going to give you a number if you don't click on generate. So we are at 10% reduction. Let's see if 3% reduction does anything else. I don't think it's gonna do any changes at 3% reduction. It's not probably a JavaScript issue. We also have a carbon pricing explained, right? We have our basics, what is carbon pricing, types of carbon pricing, ETS, carbon tax, voluntary carbon markets. We have markets, EU ETS, California cap and trade, UK ETS. So basically, whenever you're trying to change this option over here, it's going to show you one of these options. It also talks about policies, whenever it was issued and whenever it's going to take into full implementation. So you see the EU carbon border adjustment mechanism, CBAM. It's gonna kick in 2026. So you're gonna be, it's going to impact your business if you're part of the EU. And some of the times, even if you're not part of the EU, it's going to impact your business as well. We also have the glossary. We're going to talk about allowance, cap, carbon credit, carbon leakage, and MRV, monitoring, review, and verification of emissions. And with that, we also have the market sentiment and news option over here. Market sentiment basically means we're rating out of 100 how the market is. Right now it's 52, means it's neutral. Mixed signals from policy announcement and economic indicators. We have strong renewable energy growth. We have economic uncertainty affecting demand and policy development spending. We have latest news: EU ETS price stabilized amid policy uncertainty. Yesterday, it was California announces enhanced cap and trade measures, and 2 days ago, voluntary carbon market sees increased corporate demand. So basically, it gives you all of that, and at the end, there is the header. So this is the basic understanding of the carbon finance tool available, carbon price estimator available in our layer. Now, let's talk about, since we're in Nepal, right? Let us go and click on which country we are. I just want to reconfirm we are in Nepal. We didn't change the country. We are still in Nepal. So whenever you click in Nepal, there is more options available. I've talked about this in an earlier tutorial, which you can catch with the card popping over there. Um, you can look at, now since we're talking about carbon prices, we're going to also talk about economic losses, right? So Nepal has a portal that gives you an indication on, it's called the Pipat portal, highly important resource for everyone. It gives you dashboard that gives you almost sort of real time data of the disasters that are happening, or the different kinds of disasters that are like occurring throughout Nepal, right? So if you have a forest fire in Surkhet, 2025 722, so it was 22nd July, at 5:45 a.m. it was reported that there was a forest fire in area named Surkhet. So what we can do is we can do a zoom of this activity over here. Now if you think like, hey, it's just a map, and how do I operate this is pretty much simple. All you gotta do is click the layers button over here. We're gonna do map box satellite. We're gonna see if there is a satellite imagery of that available in that area. Let's see, it says there was a wildfire. Let's see if there was any smoke or plum that can verify or justify this. I don't see any smoke or plum from that day over here. Let's see, open street maps, other layers don't show that. So since I don't see too much of that here, and I can't figure out if it is a forest fire or not, but basically this is it. You can see the map capability of the Pipet portal. You can also choose different kind of filters over here. You can use a filter to calculate all provinces, all districts. One of the best features that I like to see and utilize is the show province and show district, show municipality, and show ward map over here. So you can basically go up to the low ward. Basically is the uh, smallest unit of political boundary for Nepal. So you can like pretty much go to the smallest boundary, and if you zoom out, you can see the total map like this. Shows you where it exactly is and everything. So let's try to see if this loads up here. It does. Interesting. I've never explored this in this detail as much because there's so many tools, and because you're working on this like 24/7, sometimes you don't appreciate like the things that people do. So basically you can like toggle in real satellite map, and you can see like the political divisions and boundaries and sub-political divisions and boundaries within like different kinds of layers available here. Let's see if I wanna, oh, the ward is gone. So that is happening within one local government political boundary. Okay, and some of the political boundaries are not like completely covered over here, but that's understandable. You have districts are like the other sort of political boundaries. I think they don't show you all the details over here. There, it's not that responsive, but this is owned and managed by the government, and to access this and to add data, you have to be part of the government and everything. So that's what it says. So you have the dashboard, and this is being managed by the NDRRMA, so of Nepal. So if you ever wanted to do anything in Nepal related to climate, this is one of those portals that gives you idea of climate justice. And if you are trying to figure out if there are any incidents, or if you invested into carbon credits into Nepal, and if you are talking about disasters, this is one of the other platforms. This is not available for every other country. Let me show you. I was only able to find this open source resource for Nepal. So let's go Vietnam, right? I want to see Vietnam. Oh yeah, since this portal is available for Nepal, you got to go back to the Global Forest Watch to um, see Vietnam, right? So you can see Vietnam over here. Let's go to the Global Forest Watch map. You can see Vietnam, and you can see right here there is no Bipat portal, right? So that's one of the things. Now let's talk about the carbon pricing, the real world data where we take the data from, right? This is the carbon pricing tool. Now we're going to talk about this tool. This is a Power BI dashboard that is maintained by Climate Focus. They have maintained the voluntary carbon market dashboard, and I would like to highly recommend them, and I like to highly recommend Climate Focus for making this available for the public, so that all of us can learn from it, utilize it. This was last updated in 30th June 2025, so this gives you an idea of we are recording this on 24th July, so we're only 24 days away from the last update. And so they do this very diligently, and I like this platform as well. You can follow their pages right over here, share via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and share just for other platforms as well. You have the full screen mode, and you also don't have the full screen mode available. If you want to do the full screen, you can go and utilize this in their website, and you can embed this and use that. Within our structure, we don't utilize full screen capabilities for non-registered and signed-in users. We got that for you. So if you sign in, you can utilize almost all of the features. So let's talk about the next page, right? We are not taking ownership of this. This is open source, so we are utilizing this as an open source resource. So it gives you an instruction on how you can use this. You can click, and then you can drill through and see what the data is. So you can click and follow these links as well. Let's just go over here to the next page and see. So you have carbon standards. You can click over here and you can select all these carbon standards. You have standards that are available. You can check that. You can check it using the projects or credit issued. So let's click here, and you can show it as a table, or you can drill through and see what's up, right? So you can pretty much see a lot of these things in this database, right? You can see register projects by subcategory. You can see countries, names of the projects. You can pretty much slide this slider down. There's only two columns. There's the country and the type of the project, the name of the project. So you can pretty much see and figure out if your country is here. I don't think they provide you search capabilities with this, but yeah, this is very useful. So main category, subcategory, you can do. I could spend like an hour talking about this, but we still have other features to talk about. Then we have our registrations and issuance. Then we can go to number 4, which is nature-based solutions. You can select the standard. You can group it by standards, or you can do it by year. You can do it by credit issued by activity type, or register projects by activity type. Same is available. You can drill through. You can show it as a table. You can show it as a data point. You can show it as a data point. You can probably export this. Let's go back to the report, right? You can click on this, and you can see I don't want to utilize this too much because this is like depending upon the 30th June report, like climate focus. I want to necessarily build something else out of our own activity. So whenever you do that, you do that as a part of activity and analysis done by yourself. Because if you focus too much on like third party solution and open source solution, some of the times they might not be right. Some of the times they might have disclosures that might not affect your project really well as well. So I'm giving you like idea with a pinch of salt, right? So you have non-retired volumes per country. There's like a map. You can see the map and figure out where the projects are happening. You can see it in Nepal, you can see it in India, you can see it in a lot of countries. You can exclude any other carbon standards and you can only choose the standards that you want. It's very, very versatile, so I highly recommend this. Then there's the retirement data and non-retired volumes. You can check the map out, you can choose the type of carbon standard, you can choose the activity type. It's very, very extensive. And then there is the CCP issuances. If you don't know what CCP is, Google it. I'm not gonna spend like half an hour talking about this because uh, I personally work in a CCP project, and if I start talking about this, it's going to be like for hours and hours alone. So we're just talking about the tutorial of the carbon financing over here. So that's pretty much it. And this talks about their methodology, where they get the VCM dashboard collects its data from, how often the VCM dashboard is updated, how does the VCM dashboard categorize project types, and how does the VCM dashboard distinguish between projects that are approved by the California Air Resources Board. So that's basically it. These are the tools that are available for carbon pricing and carbon, price estimator tools that we have available. You can pretty much do the carbon pricing estimator here. You can look at all the other tools over here, and that gives you the end of the tutorial for carbon pricing. And I hope that you are utilizing our tool to make projects. And if you have any confusion and on any other tools that we talked about in our earlier slide, you can write and comment in our social media, and then we'll probably reply to you. So thank you so much for going through this carbon pricing tutorial, and I hope to see you again.